here today, because y'all are the ones who are carrying on the torch and doing exactly what Mary Kay asked you to do. So thank you for being a support to me and being here today. And now my elite. That would be you. Thank you, Emily. Words can't express. Oh, Emily. I love you so much. And to my sister directors, you have inspired me, helped me to grow, and I appreciate all that you do. Thank you for loving me. Emily told y'all I'm abundance, right? Okay. To all of my Mary Kay sisters, will you please stand? That's Suzette, Tony, Sarah.
Emma, you gotta raise your hand.
If y'all come by, have a little something for you. I want to thank you for you loving me and
I'll get yours. I'm running.
Emma in the back.
Oh, I'll get Emma's. Thank you, love bug.
Thank you, Silvia.
Everybody waits the camera because y'all on Periscope. Say hey, Bear World.
Okay, to all of my customers and supporters, so Madison, please stand. Sherry, please stand. John, please stand. Sandra, and thank you for Erica also. And Maria, please stand.
Ooh, goodie bags.
Okay, and to now all of our guests. So I believe you're Emily's guest, so please stand. And she our guest. Let's give her a big round of applause. All right, Emily gets the Queen of Guests today. We've been working on that, so that's good. Okay, so thank y'all all for supporting me. I love you so, so very much. And I'm going to turn it over to Miss Anita Ramallo. Yay!
Don't tell this love is digital world. I saw my name on the program and went, wait a minute, I gotta go look this up online. We're gonna ask all the directors to stand up as we welcome Silvia and say our director, sales director oath. Okay, raise your right hand and just repeat after me. Look each other in the right eye, we can do that. In accepting the position of unit sales director.
In accepting the position of unit sales director.
Believing that the company is built on the concept of the golden rule.
Believing that the company is built on the concept of the golden rule.
I solemnly pledge to uphold and project the Mary Kay image.
I solemnly pledge to uphold and project the Mary Kay image.
I will always conduct myself with dignity.
I will always conduct myself with dignity.
I will be the essence of dependability.
I will be the essence of dependability.
Honoring all the commitments that I make.
Honoring all the commitments that I make.
I will support and uphold my sister unit sales directors in the daily practice.
I will support and uphold my sister directors in the daily practice
of the golden rule.
of the golden rule.
Doing unto others as I would have them do unto me.
Doing unto others as I would have them do unto me.
I will always strive to project a positive attitude.
I will always strive to project a positive attitude,
A clean spirit.
a clean spirit,
And a warm heart.
and a warm heart.
setting the example for others to follow.
Setting the example for others to follow.
Dedicating myself
Dedicating myself
to perpetuate the true Mary Kay Go-Give spirit.
to perpetuate the true Mary Kay Go-Give spirit.
Congratulations, brand new celebrant!
Yes, please.
One of the things I just wanted to say that Silvia has done is my daughter has now caught up with me. She's a future executive sales representative, and thank you.
Okay. And now that it's official, I would like to recognize our empire makers. So if you are an empire maker, please stand and come to the front. That's right. And I'd like y'all to know that as Tabitha's coming up, these women are representing, they're strong women because each of them represents 10 or a little more. We're coming out with 34 on the books. So it means the world to me that these three women are here today. It was my heart's desire to host our debut in Orange because we've said from the beginning, Tabitha was here with me when we've had parties in this room, and we've said we are turning orange pink.
All right, well, you're amazing. As if there could be any more awesomeness happening right now. It's about to get a little bit more awesome, okay? So I have the pleasure and the honor to present to you our guest speaker. Christina began her Mary Kay business on February 28th of 2012 after attending a skincare class that her daughter had invited her to. At the time, she was working 60 to 70 hours a week as an office manager. After hearing about the Mary Kay opportunity, it just made sense that if she cut down her hours and used that time to work her own personal business, she could easily make an extra $200 in cash. The fact that she was extremely busy almost stopped her from starting her business, but she and her husband, Enrique, prayed together and decided that they would walk by faith and give this business a chance. And so she listened to her director, Casey Hill, and focused on 30 faces in 30 days. The simple plan helped her to make a profit of over $2,300 in less than 2 weeks, and so much more in the months to come. After only 4 months from starting her business, y'all, she earned her very first Mary Kay career card and entered the director and qualification process. Just 3 short months later, on October 1st of 2012, she became a sales director of Christina's Challengers in Action Unit, also known as the CIA. That's only 7 months from signing her agreement. Christina is now in the top 2% of the Mary Kay sales force. In January of 2014, she was the very first in Texas to earn the use of a BMW, y'all. At that conference, she was actually not like one of the first, she was the first. She drove it home for a career conference and was a big to-do, and like we all saw her on the stage and we were like, oh my gosh, you know, so it was really cool. She currently drives a 2015 pink Cadillac SRX, and that's 3 free cars in less than 2 years from starting her business. She's been a star consultant all 17 quarters since starting her business. In her first year as a director, Christina and her unit achieved all 3 director challenges, earning her 3 rings, $3,000 in cash bonuses, plus the Triple Crown ring, with many brilliant diamonds. She and her unit have reached the $500,000, the $500,000, and the $550,000 unit circle of achievement, earning her 2 diamond rings and 2 diamond bar pins. She has been in the Court of Sales twice, earning a TV, home theater system, diamond rings, and she's been number 6. And this is the big one, y'all. Last year, she was crowned the Queen of Sharing in her division, the very last Queen of Sharing, right, for the Pearl Seminar, because we ended up going from 5 divisions to 4. And so last year was the very final year for us to have a Pearl division. And she was the final Queen of Sharing for the Pearl division. I'm sure it's on YouTube, right? It's on YouTube. Just Google Cristina Hernandez, Queen of Sharing. You'll see the video. It's amazing, which earned her that big queen bee that if you see right there, it's probably got, I don't know, like 5 carats of diamonds or something crazy like that. She was number 3 in her area, the Lisa Allison area, whom we adore and love. She actually adopted all of us here for a good while she was here in Houston. And she was voted Most Go Give both years. Y'all about to sit down. Y'all sitting down for this? Okay, good. Her highest commission check in 1 month. And when we say commission checks in Mary Kay, we're not talking about our sales. We're talking about our love check that corporate sends us based on our unit and everything, y'all. Her highest commission check in 1 month, y'all, is in excess of $18,400. Y'all, some people make that in a whole year in 1 month, which does not include her personal sales. In 2014, Cristina and her unit were number 1 most improved in the state of Texas. She and her unit have already earned the trip to Rome, Italy. She is most proud to have 1 DIQ and 1 Grand Achiever, Lupe Mendez, 4 Offspring Directors, Premier Club Achiever, Noemi Hernandez, and her daughter is also a Senior Sales Director, Jessica Palomo, Grand Achiever, Brenda Gonzalez, and Ana Barrera, and 1 second line Offspring, Adrian Loftus, who is also a Grand Achiever. When you hear that, that means they have a car, they're driving a Mary Kay car. Y'all, she's thrilled to have the opportunity to give God all the glory and to help mentor and empower women. She is looking for sharp individuals who are willing to work hard, serve others, and those that want to bless more women and who are searching to find their God-given gifts and purpose in life, all while building her own national area. So I hope that after hearing that, y'all realize she's about to be $1 million director. Like, the fact that she's here right now and that she's choosing to be here now in our final month of the year when she could be working with her unit, wrapping up million, which probably less than 10 people will do this year in the entire country. Like, big stinking deal. She's not going to tell you all this. That's why I'm telling you, like, seriously. Yeah. It's going to have to be something real big and huge for Cristina to come back to Orange, y'all. So just be thankful that you're here right now. Because the next time she's going to be speaking is going to be like somewhere crazy, okay? I don't know, like Tahiti or something. So, without further ado, y'all, please help me welcome Cristina.
Silvia, so much for the honor of coming and speaking your debut. Let me tell you something about this girl if you don't already know her. So I met Silvia about 3 years ago. I became a sales director in 7 months. I had my On the Move debut, and I was so lucky that at that particular time we were having $1 Million Director Week. And so Lisa Allison pulled some strings, and she had 3 of the $1 Million directors. There was National Sales Director Kim McClure, and I believe it was Elite Sales Directors Priscilla McFeeters and Christine Baruecho. And so they came to On the Move debut, and that's where I met Virginia. And that's how I think you had found the flyer, and so you had referred her to me, and so Virginia became my adoptee Okay, and so the adoptee program is just so, like, Virginia was living in Dallas, Texas, and of course, Emily lives in Roma. And so and the adoptee program is Mary Kay created it. She's so awesome. And so that way, even though you lived in another part of the country or the state or just as far away, you could find another director that would basically adopt you and take care of you and train you and treat you like your own. Even though that the adoptee gets like any of the protection, anything that that person, particular consultant does it like you don't. reap any of that as far as production-wise or financially. But Mary Kay, we don't even care because we, our philosophy is to go to rule. You treat others the way you want to be treated. So that way you're taken care of everywhere. So even if you have family or friends that live somewhere else and you would see that this would be a great opportunity for them, they're going to be taken care of. And so I was taking care of Emily, and I have to say that Emily, you have been like the best adopted director that I've ever had to work with. I mean, she's just always so awesome, always stayed connected, and just always, whatever challenge we did or anything, she's like, whatever y'all do, I want Virginia to do. And so it was just really awesome. And that's how I met Silvia. Got to meet her. And so Silvia actually went to career conference with us, and she was with us at career conference. And so let me tell you, so Silvia contacted me about 2 months ago. You were in your second month of DIQ? And let me tell you, this is pretty, okay, wait, let me watch my words. Gutsy, okay? This is pretty gutsy. And I say it because when you are working to become a sales director, a lot of it, when I was talking about how faithful she is, she's so faithful and faith-filled because you don't know what God's going to bring. I mean, you don't know. That's if you don't know God. I'll just say that. Because if you know God, then you know that when you want something, He wants to give you the desires of your heart. And when you're working on a mission and you're working diligently, then He's going to bring you what you need. And so she booked me 2 months before she was even a director. And I think it was so awesome that you would not only book me on this day 2 months before you even knew you were finished, but then it's your birthday. It's your birthday, and that is some faith. And that's why I'm saying I'm bragging to her about the people over in Dallas, because who does that? Who plans their director debut without knowing that they're going to be finished, without knowing how many people did y'all add this month, or last month?
Oh, May we added 1.
Okay, and then in April?
15.
15 in April. So before she even had that number, she already booked it. She already made the plans. Now that is faith.
Yep.
That is faith. Now, was that easy for you to do? Was it kind of scary?
It was really, very scary.
It can be scary. I think you work like me. I've been a person, they say fear, you shouldn't work with fear. But fear happens. Reality, we have fear. But I take fear to a different level. And I really think it's because I trust God. Okay, so anything that we have fear, you got to turn around, and it's okay to feel that just for a little second, but then you turn it around. What is fear? Future events appearing real, or false evidence appearing real. And so when I signed up, when I got started with Mary Kay, so I got started because I wanted to earn an extra $200 cash. And so my husband and I had, we were empty nesters, happy empty nesters. We're ecstatic, and I already promised him I wouldn't say how happy we were. We were really happy. And so, but we got extra bills. We got a new car insurance. We had medical bills, and then we had to do some remodeling at the house. All of a sudden, we were real tight with cash. And so we had no extras. Anybody in here ever had no extra? Yeah. Paycheck to paycheck. That happens. And so I was just basically the worst. I think what really got me the most is I had 2 little granddaughters that were with us all the time, and to go to the store and not be able to buy them anything. Now that stinks. If you're any grandparents in the house, can you imagine your little grandbaby, you can't buy them something? And so I told him, we need to find something else. We need to do a part-time job. And thank goodness that my daughter had been approached by this really, really shy girl. So if you're shy, anyone shy in the room, or you're too shy to even raise your hand? Okay, so she was really, really shy. So she approached my daughter in a gift shop at Charlton Methodist Hospital, and invited her to an event. Well, here's the thing. Not only did Anna not get my daughter's phone number, not only did she not ever follow up, of course she couldn't because she didn't get her phone number, but my daughter ended up calling Anna back because she found a paper that told her about it. She's thinking, oh, it's my birthday month, and I'm going to go get a free facial, and I'm going to invite my mom and my sisters to come. The little slips was expired. And the expiration date that had was expired. And Jessica thought, oh, I'm still going to call anyway. And see if I can get this free facial. So she called, and the girl said, yes, we're having an event, and come. And so she told Mom, do you want to get a free facial? We're like, yes. And Mary Kay, we say, if it's free, it's for me. So, especially because I was broke, I thought, well, this would be a good time for me to get a facial, and it's free, and I'm sure there's a catch, but I don't care, I'm gonna go. Well, until I walked up or drove up to the building, and then it said Pink Cali Training Studio. So I don't know what anyone's impression of Mary Kay is, if you're a guest or a customer or whatever, what your impression of Mary Kay is. Hopefully it's good. But for me, it wasn't all that. It wasn't all that. I did use Orphan Makeup Remover, which by the way is the #1 best-selling Orphan Makeup Remover, period, hands down. And so I looked at it and I said, Jessica, is this Mary Kay? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, oh. And she's like, why? Because I just thought it was a different kind of facial. I thought they were going to put it on me, and now I'm going to have to go do it myself. So anyway, she said, well, do you want to leave? And I'm like, no, we're already here. But I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to host a party for your friend. And then she's like, well, she's not even my friend. And I'm like, she's not your friend, and we're here? So, you know, because we support each other, right? And so I'm like, fine, let's just go in. And I go, let's go. So we get there, and then I'm going to tell you something real quick. I don't want you to judge me. I'm just going to be honest with you how my small mind thinking was at that time. So there standing to greet us was this tall, blonde, thin, white chick. She had diamonds all over, and she was dressed really sharp. She had a suit too, and she looked really sharp. And so she talked about how she'd been to college and all this other stuff. And she was 9 months pregnant. She's one of those really skinny people that they're pregnant and you can't even tell they're pregnant. And then like they cough, have a baby, and they're skinny again. But anyway, so she went on to talk about her highest earnings had been over $19,000 in a month, and I'm thinking to myself in this small mind, well, yeah, you can, because you're white, you're blonde, you're tall, you're thin, you have a higher education, you're obviously rich because you have all those diamonds, you know, all these things that went into my head. But what she did say that I thought to myself is that she said you can make extra $200. So I thought, okay, that's all I need. I just need $200 extra a month. And then me and my honey can go on a date again. And then I can buy my grandkids whatever they want, if they want, you know, just something fun, not whatever they want. And so I thought this would be good, and that's when I went to him and I said, you know, I'm thinking about this Mary Kay thing, and he's like, oh, don't do it, it's a scam, right? And why did you think it was a scam?
Because I had a family member that was in it for over 20 years and hadn't done anything with it.
Can you imagine that? So he had a family member who had been in it for 20 years, never did anything with it. And so I told him right away, well, you know what, I'll tell you right now that if I do Mary Kay, that everybody's going to know I do Mary Kay. And so I'm very competitive, and I like challenges. That was a challenge to me, okay? So I went ahead and got started, and then I remember when I got my starter kit, and it was like so awesome, and I was like, hey, Christmas, you know, you're so excited. But then I'm thinking, where am I going to find the time for this? And I've never had a business before. And I certainly don't have time, I'm too busy. And all these things just came flooding in. And thank goodness I had an awesome sales director. So if you're a consultant in the room and you have an awesome sales director that's barely sitting here, just give her a round of applause. An amazing senior director, and so she taught me everything. What I love about Mary Kay, so I'm not a creative person at all, but man, I'm a great copycat. Like I'm over here looking at all this, I'm like, man, I could copy this. I could do this. This is pretty awesome. But I'm not one to just think of these ideas. Like I've got to see it and copy it. So that's what's so cool about Mary Kay, because in Mary Kay, in corporate America, they don't want you copying them, and they don't want you to help you succeed. In Mary Kay, we want to help you succeed. We want you to pass you. I mean, what did Anita just say? You know, now thank you for helping my daughter. Now she's at the same level as far as, you know, in Mary Kay, you're constantly growing. You're constantly moving up. And so I went ahead, got started, and really fast, I started making great money. It was like crazy, unbelievable. I remember the first week I sold over 2,000 in products. I remember laying the cash in the checks. And I told my husband, now do you still think it's a scam? We were so excited, and we just started working crazy. I mean, and I just mean, you know, Casey had said, focus on 30 faces in 30 days. I'm like, is that it? 30 faces in 30 days? So I made that my mission, to facial 30 people in 30 days. And it wasn't about the money. It was for me. It was writing somebody's name on that. I didn't want a blank spot on my sheet. I wanted the 30 spaces filled out. And so that's what I did. And with that, the more I shared the opportunity, the more, and I was excited because we earn 50% of everything we sell from this product. Like, get out of here. Who does that? Mary Kay, 50% of everything you purchase. So if you're a customer in the room, so don't be mad. Just say thank you. We say thank you to you that we're making 50%. So it's a big secret. Don't tell anybody. Not really. It's not a secret. No, but seriously, it's just, it's amazing. You know, there's so many direct selling companies out there that don't make that much commission. So that in itself was a gift. And then on top of that, when you're doing so well, then Mary Kay says, hey, you're doing so well, you know, 4 months from starting the company, how about we give you a car to drive? What? You gotta be kidding me. 4 months we earned our very first car. I'll tell you what was a big thing that's actually shifted for me. In Mary Kay, once you begin and you add your very first team member, you start earning a 4% commission from everything they purchase from the company. So then once you have 5 team members, like you can give yourself a raise at any time. So you start earning a 9 to 13% commission. We call them love checks. We call them love checks because we love to get them. Okay, so then I was a team leader. That was when I had 5 team members. And I remember that I received a check for $1,686. Like, can you imagine $1,600? That was more than any paycheck I had ever received. And it was just from the 5 team members. And so Casey, who was my senior director at the time, she said, Christina, I'm so proud of you. You made a check of $1,886. Can you believe that if you would have been a sales director, that check would have been $5,077.77 doing the same work? Like, the company is going to pay you that much more, and yes, the company pays you that much more because Mary Kay pays their directors top money, top dollars to help and lead other people. And so it's crazy because I got in for an extra $200. The diamonds were a plus, the cars were a plus, and little did I know what my purpose was in life. So I'm asking you, do you know what your purpose in life is? Because I tell you that I would have never guessed that my life would be what it is today. So, moving a little forward, we earned the BMW, and here's the thing, when we earned the BMW, I was the first in the state of Texas. I was one of 3 in the country to earn it, and that actually kind of like propelled me to like Mary Kay famous, just for a minute. People were inviting me to come speak and talk, but actually it wasn't me they wanted to hear the talk, they wanted to see the dog. I can't accept that. And so the first event I went to, because I was used to speaking to, you know, at my meeting to people, but I went to speak at National Sales Director Sabrina Monday. And it was at her event, and guys, when I got there was about 400 people there. And I was so nervous. First of all, you can tell already if you're someone who's very educated, like, that girl's just not really following along, and she's kind of random. That's me. I didn't go to college. No, but I wasn't a public speaker or anything like that, so I was so nervous. I was so nervous that I was sitting in my chair, and I couldn't be still. I tore my skirt just from being so nervous. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how high is the every time I was to stand up, and can you see anything? And it was at that time when I got up there and I got up on that stage and I looked at all the people that were sitting there, and I thought to myself, it just came clear. My purpose was not to sell lipstick. My purpose was to share the Word of God and on a platform. And so it was really neat because I have always taken God on as my business partner. Everything that I've worked with in faith, knowing at the very last minute. I remember when I was trying to do On the Move, we were going to On the Move. I had 14 parties booked and 13 canceled. And we needed 3 more qualifies and about 8,000 in production is what we needed. And it was the last 3 days of the month, and I did not give up. In those 3 days, I ended up adding 3 new team members that came as stars and qualified, and we did it. But it wasn't until like the very last. Had I quit, it probably wouldn't happen. And so, but I didn't quit because I had the faith in God. And so in everything that we've ever done in our Mary Kay, God is constantly there. He's constantly helping. I'm able to talk to and help people to share God's word with them through an awesome company like Mary Kay, who puts God first, family second, and career third. I have been able to help. So I remember there was one girl who signed up, and that I didn't even met her. She came with another friend, and when I went to talk to her, and I said, so one evening, how are you? We were getting her order. She said, do you know why I started Mary Kay? And I said, no. And it was so funny because at that time, we were on a time, and I was trying to get something when I was trying to be a DIQ. And she said, it's because I want to know God, and you know God, and I don't know him. And at that time, I thought, I just need to stop and try to finish this, and I need to share the word with her. I said, I'm gonna go get something to eat, we're gonna be here a while. And this is at the time, I was a new consultant, and I thought that the last day of the month ended at 9. I didn't know that it really ended at 12. And so, but they said, but it's really, you have to put your order in by 9. And so I thought my time was 9. And so knowing or thinking that, I quit what I was doing, took the time to share with her. It was about 9:45 when we were done. And then I remember when we opened the InTouch back up, it said that it had been extended until 1 a.m. And to me, was like, that was God. You know, God has just been and showed up and showed up and showed up. And I say this to you because in the time, I won't say that it was hard, you know, but if it was easy, everybody would do it, okay? But at the same time, isn't anything worth working for, worth having worth working for? There was times that I couldn't sleep because I was just so excited. I was just so excited. There were times when I got just a few hours of work. I was still working my job. You know, I was still doing, teaching Spanish in the English class. I was still doing that. I was still busy. And I sacrificed a lot. But here's the thing. I sacrificed a lot for like 7 months. Are you sacrificing a lot? And if you knew that if you sacrificed right now, if that would change your everything and that would change your life, would you be willing to do it? If you think about how hard you're working right now for people or for someone else's dreams, you know, that's what I'm talking about. You know, how long are we going to work to helping someone else's dreams come true? And why don't we work that hard for ourselves? Why don't you work that hard for yourself? And I will tell you that when I quit working full-time, that was a shift because I was used to being told what to do, and now I don't know what to do. I'm like, I think I was better when I was working. But it's just a shift. And then you have more time now. I mean, I was able to pick up my granddaughters. My daughter, who got started at 23 years old, was able to buy her own home. Single mom at 23 years old. And this is so crazy because if you know the history of my daughter, who was 16 years old when she got pregnant and should have been a statistic, you know, to be living on welfare and to be, you know, just not living a good life. And now, I mean, she has a home and she got married and she's earned 2 cars with Mary Kay and she's a senior sales director and she's helping. And my granddaughter puts affirmations all over the wall of how wonderful she is and how good she is and how she's loved and how she's blessed and how much our life has changed. And as life has changed so much that 10 years ago, I was an alcoholic. 10 years ago, I was an alcoholic. And the person who thought that I wasn't worthy of anything good and thinking how much I had disappointed God and how I wasn't worth. But see, that's what the enemy wants us to believe, doesn't he? And so it doesn't matter what you've been, where you've been, what you've done. And I love Mary Kay because you can even have terrible credit. I didn't, by the way. You can have terrible credit, no credit, and Mary Kay is going to give you a car. Mary Kay is going to give you a chance. And here's the thing. You can be where you are right now, and maybe you're not working Mary Kay the way you thought you were going to or never intended because maybe you're just chose to watch a TV show instead, or chose to maybe go to bed a little earlier. I just don't want to, you know, I don't want to lose an hour of sleep. You know, what if you lost an hour of sleep? What if you gave it just a little more? What if you dedicated some time to call someone? And I don't mean just call someone as far as customers or sales. I mean, I'm talking about be your friend, connect with them. You know, find out what their needs are, because when you find out what people's needs are, and then you help them with that, you're going to be successful. Everything, God's just going to pour on more abundance on you when you find out their needs. You know, it's not so much to go and I need this and I need that. Find out what they want. What do you need? What can I help you with? Do you need a car? Do you need some extra cash? Let me show you how to do it. And when you're helping other people, I mean, abundance just pours on. You know, God came. And here's I was thinking that my abundance was going to be in heaven because my life was what it was. I was getting 1 week paid vacation. I would never take a whole week vacation. But I had to split it out in case there was an emergency to help our daughters with our grandchildren. But see, God wants more from you. I mean, is where you're at bringing you joy? Is it bringing you closer to God? Is it bringing you closer to your dream? And if it isn't, then I say to you, try Mary Kay. If you look at the women that are sitting here, I mean, you see us. I mean, some people might think we're all cracked or something. We're too excited and too happy, but we're so happy because our lives are so blessed. Not more than that, but we get to bless so many people, so many lives. So I say, you know, why not just give it a try? I tell you what, anybody who's ever had their Mary Kay career won't leave out of here with something more, you know, some kind of positivity. I was talking to an old coworker of mine, and I used to always, we'd pray together and we'd always be so positive. There's one girl who was always negative, and I'd always be on her and be on her. And so he called me, he's having a hard time, and he was just being so negative. He was telling me, you know, I'm mad at God, and I don't even know if there's a God, and this and that. After he went on and on, I said, wow, you sure have been hanging out with Vicky a long time. And he was like, huh? And so I went on to talk to him, and I thought, did you forget God's promises? Have you forgotten all these things? I go, are these things that are happening to you not consequences of your choices and the things that you're doing? And then sometimes we get confused. Sometimes we, you know, like, don't get mad about the things that aren't happening because of the things that you didn't do. So I'm not getting a new team member, or I'm not making this, or I'm not that. Well, what are you doing or not doing? You know? And so you haven't been going to church, so you're not getting filled. You're not, you know, you're not getting what you're filled. I mean, you know, and Mary Kay is kind of like church. You know, when you miss church and you miss Mary Kay, you start losing it. That's why we always say stay plugged in, don't miss a meeting. And so what is happening in your life that can change? And it's not going to change if you're not doing anything. You know, what do they call insanity? You know, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, nothing changes if nothing changes. And so I say is, tell yourself, you know, just take a chance. Maybe give it a shot. I want to change my life. And guess what? It's never a perfect time. If you're waiting for that perfect time, it's never going to happen. There's always going to be something. You're always going to be busy. There's something going to be happening, but you have to make that come to pass. You have to make it happen. If you treat this business like a business, it's going to pay you like a business, and it's going to do so much more for you. It's going to do so much more for you. You're going to create a legacy for your family, for your children, for your children's children. You're going to make things change, make things happen. And so maybe your thought is like, I'm not a salesperson. I would never even think about something. Think about the possibilities that it can do for you, for someone else. And I thought to me when I was at my job, and I loved, and we were a family, I thought, I'm doing what God wants me to do, and I'm sharing His Word with the 20 people that are in this building. And they knew they could come with me in prayer, and I felt this is what I'm doing. That's what we're supposed to do, right? Share the Word. But God had another plan for me. And see, because God gives us all gifts and talents, each and every one of us. And maybe we don't know all those gifts and talents. But when you learn to use those in the way that He wants you to use them, and to bless other people, to help other people get closer to Him, you know how happy He's going to be? Like, thank you, Lord, for giving us so much, for being so good, and for giving us even the challenges that we have. Because in those challenges, when we grow, and our character grows. And so sometimes you get somebody in your life, you're like, my life is so happy, and this person just, man, I don't understand God, why He put them in my life. Well, you know what? Maybe you're there to help them. You're there to help them. And maybe think of it and see it, you know, this person is challenging, but you know what? There's something that they need to see in me that's going to help change them to get closer. Because here's the thing, when you treat people the way you want to be treated, not the way that they treat you, you treat them the way you want to be treated, and you continue to do that, and maybe they're against you now, they will be for you later. And it doesn't matter if they're for you now or not, because guess who's for us?
That's right.
And if He's for us, who could be against us?
Amen.
And so I say to you, give it a try. You know, don't wait, don't hesitate. It's like, you know, that's $100. I don't know if you do. How many times do we go to the Walmart? We're supposed to do like 2 things, and we come out of there with the best. If you have already been in your business and you're not working it the way you should, then I say start over. Again, I've already started over a few times. Go start over. Carrie Newby, a future executive celebrator, Carrie Newby, who's my friend, always says you can start a diet in the middle of a bag of chips. So we are in our last month of our Mary Kay seminar here. But whatever you do now going forward is going to be a springboard into the next year and to get started on fire. If you are a Mary Kay consultant and you have not thought about or registered to go to seminar, I know that your church has been telling you. Let me tell you, you need to get registered and go on faith. And go on faith. Christina, I don't have the money. Find it. And then sell something. And get there. Trust your director and attend this event. If you are a guest or a customer or anyone who is not in Mary Kay, then I say get started and say, okay, I'm going to do this seminar thing. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to go and do this. And so I just say to you, I'm so honored to be here again, Silvia, to come and share. And thank you. She got us a room and everything. You're so sweet. And you have such a beautiful spread here. So I just tell you all, I thank you so much for just having me to be here. I want to thank also Rogelio Martinez for just always being so kind and always helpful with Virginia. And I love you all. Again, thank you so much. Oh, I have a pin real quick. You can open it. Okay. It's just a little something. One thing in Mary Kay, when you love what you do, you never work another day in your life. And so, but when you do all things with love, then you're just gonna get so much more. Love you.
Love it. All right. Well, thank y'all so much for being here. We've come to the end of our program, but before we close, we do have some raffle prizes to draw for. And if Rachel and Virginia would come up and do that, and if you didn't get a chance to purchase raffle tickets, there are some awesome prizes over there. You can do that right now if you want to.
And while they're doing that, if you're going to purchase raffle tickets, we have door prizes as well. So the first thing we want everybody to do is look under your chair. And this little Empire Makers graphic, I'll tell y'all more about this, but look under your chair, and if there's one under there, you win a door prize.
If nobody's next to you, you can
Yeah, check the chair, because there are 3 of them. Bring them over here to the side.
Oops, excuse me.
Okay, so now, I think Tabitha, you have the raffle so we can draw maybe?
Yes, ma'am. I'm selling some.
Okay, and she's selling. Okay, so while we're doing that, another thing I'll share with y'all ladies also, if you received a gift today, a little gift bag, then please go inside of there. And you can discover your gift later, but I want you to know that you received one of these cards. Everybody who got one of the little gift bags from me got one of these cards and a deck of cards. A deck of cards. So remember the faith thing starts with the profession. So our goal, the Empire Makers goal, is 10,000 in production to meet CAR this month so that we can cross the seminar stage and pick up our keys. This is a strategy that I will be using and want to share with you. When you interview 54, the math will do its magic. When you interview 54 women or people, you will have the numbers to get you to CAR, okay? So with your deck of cards, we know that normally there's a ratio. One will say yes, so many will say no. So with the deck of cards, if you get someone who says yes, then you pull a joker, a jack, a queen, a king, or a joker. Those are all your yeses. Your no's, if anybody says no, I'm not ready right now, it's not a good time, I don't have $100, you've gone through all the objections, and they're just at no, then pull an ace through a 10. So that's how many no's you're going to get. Okay? And then the yeses are going to get you to your car. Is this exciting? So, I need to finish my deck this month. You can set your own personal goal of how long you're going to work to get through the deck. I gotta get to the deck this month. And I know there's a lot of us in the room that need to get through this deck. So enjoy your deck of cards and that strategy and enjoy that. Okay. So now we're gonna draw some raffles. We're gonna do the last of the sales on those. Okay.
Almost there.
You got a deck of cards. But those are those cards.
Really nice.